I hope your post office is more consistent than the kerning in that font. Yeesh. So will this be in volume P for post office, M for mail, or W for waiting, perhaps?
Next week is Mother's birthday, and Susan and Jimmy Bray are getting a present for her.
Do you really think she'll like it? I think she will, Jim.
Asked and answered. Thanks.
They've written a letter to a company in Milwaukee that sells through a mail-order catalog. Jimmy wants to be sure that he has addressed the envelope correctly. He's never addressed an envelope before.
Ooh, give him
Then you
room.
write the state. W-I-S period. There, how's that? That's fine.
Hello, Mr. Police.
Let's see now. Name on the first line. Number and street on the second. City, zone number, and state on the third.
What's
The
this?
zone number tells what neighborhood in Milwaukee the letter goes to.
A world before zip
And in the
codes?
upper left corner is the return address. There's no zone number here, since Evanston doesn't have zones.
Get a zone, losers.
Yet, Jimmy has addressed the envelope correctly.
Against all odds.
But it's not ready to be sealed yet. They have to enclose the money. The catalog says not to send cash, but to send check or money order. And Susan knows she can get a money order at the post office.
Buckle up, here we
Here's
go.
the post office in Evanston. All the mail which goes in or out of Evanston passes through the post office.
Often multiple times.
In the post office, Susan is waiting to buy a money order to put into their letter. Meanwhile, she asks Jimmy to buy a stamp.
To get rid of him.
The clerk writes out the money order. It's called a postal money order because it represents a promise by the post office to pay $1.75.
The post office promises they're totally good for it. They just have to wait till next Friday when they get paid.
Meanwhile, Jimmy is buying a stamp for the letter. The money the post office gets for stamps helps pay for the people who work in the post office and for other costs of sending the mail. The post office sells stamps of many different kinds and prices.
But they all have Snoopy on them.
The clerk tells Susan to write in the name of the company. When they receive it, the company can take it to any post office to get their money.
At participating locations.
Susan gives the clerk $1.75 plus 10 cents to pay for the money order.
Aha! That's how they get you.
The post office is run by the Post Office Department of the United States government in Washington.
Oh, that government.
Almost every town and city has a post office. Some like this one in Evanston, some bigger and some smaller, depending on the size of the town.
I don't like what you're implying.
The mail can go from any post office to any other in the country, and to foreign lands as well.
You mean like Timbuktu or Boise?
Susan puts the money order into the letter, and it's ready to mail. The address is right, it has a return address, and it has a stamp.
Oops, you forgot to include a sample of your own DNA.
Jimmy wants to be the one to drop it into the slot. He's careful to put it into the right slot to help the post office do its work. Let's go behind this wall and see some of the work the post office does.
Oh, I'm not ready to spoil that magic.
The tray that the letter fell into is emptied onto a sorting table.
The sorting hat was unavailable?
Letters which go by regular mail usually go by train or truck. People in a hurry can send letters by airmail.
Don't forget your parachute.
Airmail letters cost more for stamps. He puts all the airmail letters together. Special delivery letters must be clearly marked and carry a special stamp.
These are promptly discarded.
The clerk puts all the special delivery letters together, too. They will be delivered as soon as they arrive.
But they just arrived.
Now the letters are ready to be canceled. The post office has a machine that does this. The machine makes a mark on the stamp so that it can't be used again. But canceling does more than mark the stamp. In the circle is the name of the post office, the time the letter was canceled, and the date on which it was canceled. This is called a postmark.
I get it.
Some letters are canceled by hand because they're too thick to go through the canceling machine or because they're the wrong size.
Kevin Spacey canceled. Harvey Weinstein canceled. Ryan Adams.
Now the letters go to these cases where postal clerks sort them according to where they are to go and how they are to get there. Some letters go to places that are close by. Often these letters will be delivered by truck.
Cool nickname. I bet he's cool.
Letters addressed to more distant places usually go by train. There's a special case for letters addressed to foreign countries. They cost more to mail than letters for this country.
Because of communism.
This case is only for letters that will go on train number 161 to Wisconsin. This clerk knows the name of every town where the train stops in the right order. Jimmy's and Susan's letter goes into a slot for letters addressed to Milwaukee.
Code it wrong, and they
As
dock
each
ya.
slot fills up, a clerk takes out the letters to tie them into a bundle. The post office has machines that quickly tie the bundles, faster than a man can do it.
You go, sister.
Then the bundles of letters are tossed into large bags called pouches.
They look like pants with invisible square fat dudes in them.
Each pouch will go to a different place. The bundle with Jimmy's and Susan's letter goes into the pouch for Milwaukee.
Where it's proofread by a baby kangaroo.
Packages in the mail are called parcel post. They are sorted much like letters. The workers take them from this moving table and toss them into the right hamper.
They get extra points for bounces.
Then the packages in each hamper are sorted into different mail sacks.
Hampers, sacks, pouches. These government workers are satchel crazy. Bah.
It's 4:20 now. All
Woohoo,
the mail has
yeah.
been taken out of the racks. Train number 161 is due in Evanston soon. The pouches for train number 161 must be closed and locked. Every letter pouch is locked before it leaves the post office in order to keep the mail safe inside. Only postal clerks have the keys. The same key works all the locks.
It's just easier and far less secure that way.
The pouches and sacks are taken from the post office by trucks to start on their trip.
Bye, don't forget to write. Oh,
The post
right.
office has a schedule when different pouches are locked, according to the schedules of the trains, trucks, and airplanes they are to go on.
Oh, is this where they meet the lovable Del Griffith?
Some airmail will go to a helicopter field at the edge of the city.
These letters want a free helicopter ride.
The helicopter will carry the mail quickly to an airport, where mail can be put on large airplanes. Helicopters are used in some of the larger cities and their suburbs to speed up the mail service.
They're equipped with machine guns and heat-seeking missiles to chase the mailman to your door.
At the airport, airmail first goes to a special airmail post office. Here, the mail is arranged according to the schedules of the airplanes.
Here's where the whole system breaks down.
Then, the pouches and sacks of mail are loaded into airplanes, which take them quickly to the cities they are bound for.
Quickly is a very subjective word.
Regular mail usually goes by train. Here is train number 161 pulling into the station. This train has a special car called a railway post office, which is really a post office on wheels. A post office truck has brought the pouches and sacks to the station. Jimmy's and Susan's letter is in one of these pouches.
Jimmy Hoffa is in another.
As the train rolls along, postal transportation clerks open pouches they have picked up from different city post offices along the railroad line.
They get to keep any loose pogs they find.
In some pouches, the letters are already bundled, and they sort the bundles. Here's the bundle with Jimmy's and Susan's letter in it.
It's marked dumb kid stuff, not important. Into the pants.
Some of the mail the clerks must sort into slots.
Did you say
just as the
slots?
clerks in the city post office do. Every clerk carries a pistol to protect the mail,
Yikes.
along with a key that opens the pouches.
I guess this was before the phrase going
Back near
postal
the
was
door
coined.
Are the pouches that are to be put off at the next station. And so, the postal transportation clerks keep working as the train rolls along.
After a 3-hour union break.
It's early in the morning, several days later. The mail carriers are coming to work at the Evanston post office.
Always ring twice, fellas.
They must be ready to leave the post office by 8 o'clock to deliver the mail. They have a lot to do before then. They must sort the mail that has come in since yesterday. Each carrier arranges his letters in the order he will deliver them.
Or in this case, in the order of his various secret families. The mail must be bound into submission.
Parcel post must be arranged this way, too. It is sorted on the same moving table. It will be delivered by truck.
Wow, that guy gets around.
And here is the package addressed to Jimmy and Susan Bray. The birthday present has come at last.
Hope it's still alive.
Mrs. Bray has no idea what's in it. She can hardly wait for Jimmy and Susan to come home from school.
Is that sarcasm?
Oh, a card, too? Oh, happy birthday, Mother. You're the greatest. Oh, thank you. Okay, now let's turn it over like this. Here, see, I have the scissors. Got it
It's
here,
really
here.
soggy,
Here, come on
kids.
now. Let's get it out. Okay. Oh, a beautiful tray.
Oh, you really shouldn't have.
And that's how the
Yikes.
post office helped Jimmy and Susan surprise their mother with a birthday present.
And one day, something called Amazon.com will surprise the post office by simultaneously saving and ruining it. Goodbye, kids! Thanks for watching. And hey, if you want all the fun with shorts, please check out my Patreon, where you can get early access to every video, free goodies, and starting now, a bonus Patreon exclusive episode every month. All that for a pledge of as little as $1 per video. Thank you, patrons. I'm crazy about you. I love you. Bye.